3 days. That's how long it lasted. On June 9, 2026, Anthropic released the most powerful AI model ever made available to the public.
Today we're launching Claude Fable 5.
On June 12, at 5:21 p.m. on a Friday, the United States government sent them a letter. By end of night, it was gone. Switched off. For everyone. Everywhere. All at once. That actually happened. Most coverage gives you one of two stories. Either the government had no choice, genuine emergency, real threat, hard call, or Trump is just settling scores with a company that defied him. I'm going to give you neither. I'm going to give you every credible explanation, honest odds on which ones are true, and what each one means if it is. The question isn't whether any of this is possible. The question is, which ones are likely, and how bad is it if you're wrong? Let's get into it. Anthropic is an AI safety company founded in 2021 by former OpenAI researchers, including siblings Dario Amodei, CEO, and Daniela Amodei, president. They make Claude. You've probably used it. On June 9th, they released two new models, Fable 5, which went public, and Mythos 5, restricted to vetted organizations through Project Glasswing. Same underlying model. The difference? Fable 5 ships with safety classifiers limiting its most sensitive cybersecurity capabilities. Mythos 5 does not. Anthropic called it the most capable AI they'd ever built, particularly good at one thing: finding and fixing software vulnerabilities. 3 days later, the Commerce Department sent the letter. Export controls. No foreign national could access either model. Anthropic couldn't verify citizenship in real time, so they took it offline for everyone. All their other models, Opus, Sonnet, Haiku, still up. Just Fable 5, gone. Two things to hold on to. First, Anthropic says the vulnerability was narrow, a specific prompting technique, not a master key. Second, they say OpenAI's GPT 5.5 can do the same thing. GPT 5.5 is still fully online. That's the floor. Now let's build on it. This didn't come from nowhere. Anthropic had a major Pentagon contract, but they drew two hard lines: no fully autonomous lethal weapons, and no mass domestic surveillance. The administration's position: any lawful use, no exceptions. Anthropic said no. What followed? Public attacks, Hedgeseth calling the CEO an
ideological lunatic,
the Pentagon labeling Anthropic a supply chain risk, the same designation reserved for foreign adversaries. Federal agencies were ordered off their models. Anthropic sued and won early rulings calling the moves retaliatory. The administration tried to block the launch of Fable 5. It launched anyway, June 9th. 3 days later, at 5:21 p.m. on a Friday, chosen, if you're being uncharitable, to give the story as little weekend oxygen as possible, the letter arrived. Keep that timeline close. Two numbers for each explanation. How likely out of 10? How bad out of 10? Those are different questions. A 3 paired with a 9 isn't reassuring. It's a different kind of alarm. Explanation 1. Genuine national security emergency. Someone found a way to get Fable 5 to use Mythos-level capabilities it wasn't supposed to have. A foreign adversary with that access could map vulnerabilities in US infrastructure at a speed no human team could match. The risk isn't invented, but the jailbreak would need to provide capability no other model offers. Anthropic says GPT 5.5 does the same thing and is still online. And in every regulated industry, emergency shutdowns come with published findings and independent review. Neither happened here. Likelihood this is the complete explanation: 3 out of 10. How bad if the threat is real and gets ignored? 9 out of 10. Both can be true. That's the point. Explanation 2. This is retaliation. The jailbreak is real but minor. A legal hook, not a genuine emergency. Anthropic refused to strip its ethical limits for military use, fought in court and won, then launched the most powerful public AI in history over the administration's explicit objection. 3 days from launch to shutdown, a defense secretary who called the CEO a lunatic. A legal mechanism that doesn't exist in statute. No hearing, no published standard, no defined threshold. Likelihood retaliation is at least part of the motive. 7 out of 10. How bad for the AI industry if a company can lose its product overnight for defying the government? 8 out of 10. That's not a hypothetical anymore. It just happened. Explanation 3. A competitor pulled the trigger. The government didn't find the jailbreak. Another company flagged it. Axios reported it. Nobody named who. OpenAI is heading into an IPO. Anthropic filed its confidential S1 on June 1st. Nobody has to be evil. A competitor finds a real vulnerability, reports it, and an already hostile administration uses it maximally. One player gets taken off the board at exactly the wrong moment. Likelihood competitive interest played a role, 5 out of 10. How bad if confirmed, 7 out of 10. It would mean the national security apparatus can function as a competitive weapon. Explanation 4. The government wants the off switch. Export controls are an elegant mechanism. They don't nationalize anything. They don't require legislation. They just establish, quietly, that the government can reach into a private company's deployed product at any time. For any reason it can dress in national security language, and turn it off. Nobody has to be malicious. It's what power looks like when it's establishing what it can do. Likelihood this is at least part of what's happening, 6 out of 10. How bad if true, 8 out of 10. Every frontier AI lab now knows the ceiling on principled independence. There's a name for what those numbers describe. A powerful capability deployed without rules, in the dark, by people with obvious conflicts of interest, against a company that told them no. The jailbreak may be real and the response still be retaliatory. The national security concern may be genuine and still be weaponized. All of that can be true at once. What can't have a good version, what has no reading where it's fine, is a system where the most consequential technology being built can be switched off overnight for any reason dressed in national security language, with no process and no transparency. That's not a safety mechanism. That's just power. So don't fixate on whether Fable 5 was dangerous. Ask for the boring things. A published standard for what triggers a shutdown. An independent technical review before action of this scale. A statutory process with a real appeal. Transparency about what was found. This isn't about Fable 5. It's about whether the most powerful technology ever built will be governed by transparent rules, or by whoever's holding a phone on a Friday afternoon. Before you go, which explanation did I miss? Drop it in the comments with 2 numbers, how likely out of 10, and how bad if it's true. The whole point of putting a number on it is that you're allowed to argue about the number, so argue with me. The sharpest takes get scored on screen in a follow-up. I'm reading.